office manager, this is not interesting for me. I studied the law, first of all, law.
That's your first career?
Yes.
You're a lawyer?
Yes, yes. But I didn't work as a lawyer.
I know.
It was very boring. It was very boring.
You decided on another path?
Yes, yes. Then I studied economy and business administration.
Wow.
But I worked a little bit in a bank, but I decided this is too much boring, even more boring than to be a lawyer. So I decided to be a travel blogger.
Travel blogger?
Yes. And I started to travel the globe, like many people today, with my camera. It was 20 years ago, so without YouTube, without Facebook, without Instagram. There were some websites, and like in English, in Russian, in different languages. So I just published my impressions, my photos, still without videos. I really enjoyed my life.
So at the point you were basically knowing the different cultures around the world?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. So my first trip was to Egypt, because I lived in Israel, and Egypt was a neighbor country. And part of my military service, I just served in Egyptian border. So I could see Egyptian soldiers on the other side of the border fence. So I always dreamed to go to this country and to visit and to see pyramids and different sites around the country. So I traveled to Egypt. I really enjoyed my trip. And then I took a really long trip to South America for half a year.
Wow.
Almost half a year I traveled in South America.
Which countries do you visit?
Almost all of the countries except of Venezuela.
Except Venezuela?
Except Venezuela.
Why?
Because I think because of the criminal situation.
Yeah.
It was a very dangerous country, like today. So for some reason I decided not to go to Venezuela. So all of the South America except of Venezuela.
Okay, you visited Colombia?
Yes.
Colombia, yes. Chile, Argentina?
Chile, Argentina, Paraguay, even Suriname.
Suriname, okay.
Yeah, and French Guyana. Guyana or Guyana?
Guyana.
The two countries, yes. This was my lifestyle for almost 20 years, 15 years actually. So in December 2016, I remember this day, 15th of December 2016, I was arrested in the Republic of Belarus. Belarus is actually small ex-Soviet republic, ruled by a dictator, Alexander Lukashenko, a biggest ally of Russia, who took a part in aggression against Ukraine. But then, I always kept away from the politics.
But why they arrested you?
Oh, this is a good question. Because in 2011, I visited disputed Nagorno Karabakh. This is a small...
Yeah, there's a small territory.
Yeah, small...
Next to Azerbaijan, or it's within...
It's between Armenia and Azerbaijan, two ex-Soviet republics. This is really small area, self-governed area, where about 150,000 Christian Armenians lived before. Today, they were expelled from this territory by the Azerbaijani government. So, before the collapse of the Soviet Union collapsed in 1991. So before the collapse of the Soviet Union, it was like all the same country. Today we have like 15 independent countries of where belongs to Soviet Union, ex-Soviet Union. During the Soviet times, we didn't have borders like between Nicaragua and Costa Rica or something. We didn't have borders, so we can just travel like in European Union or United States of the United States, all the same. But after the Soviet Union collapsed, everything is changed. So administrative borders became like international borders. During the Soviet times, Joseph Stalin, like a horrible dictator like Hitler, he decided, for some reason, he decided to move administrative borders of Republic of Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan is a Muslim republic, for 95% Muslim republic, and Armenia is Christian. Orthodox Christian. So for some reason, Stalin decided to move the border, and so 150,000 Christian Armenians became like a part of Azerbaijan, of Muslim Azerbaijan. But still, again, during the Soviet times, it didn't make sense. So you can live in any place, but still you speak Russian, you live under communism, and Secretary General of Communist Party is in Moscow. But after the collapse of the Soviet Union, everything has changed. So Armenians became the small Christian minority in Muslim Azerbaijan. And Azerbaijan started the war against Armenians just to expel them from the country. Just ethnic cleansing against Armenians. But Armenians were able somehow, in support of the Republic of Armenia, to win this war. It was kind of guerrilla war, to win this war and to establish a really small republic they called Artsakh, Nagorno-Karabakh Republic, in Armenian language Artsakh. In Russian it's called Nagorno-Karabakh. Actually, I don't like this Russian name, because this Russian name consists of two words. Nagorno means mountains, but Karabakh is in Azerbaijani language. Karabakh is called Black Garden. Mountain Black Garden. In two languages, different languages. I like the original name, Artsakh. So this republic actually existed for 30 years.
Wow.
For 30 years. Really small. It's like...
How many people live there?
150,000.
100?
Yes.
Very small.
Very, very small. But still, they have their own army and pretty strong, with support of Republic of Armenia. And it was kind of independent country. So when you enter this country, you receive stamps, like everything like normal country. But Azerbaijanis, of course, they insisted that this territory belongs to them. Because during the Soviet times, during the Stalin times, it was really part of Republic of Azerbaijan, Soviet Republic of Azerbaijan. And not a single country of the world recognized the independence of Artsakh. Even Armenia, they were actually somehow afraid to recognize the independence, not to, you know, to establish some international scandal. It's more or less like in Israel. So when what we say, West Bank, is this Palestinian or Israeli? The same issue was in Armenia. So if they could call Artsakh as Armenian territory, it was kind of against the decisions of the United Nations.
Were they fighting, you know, they're fighting or not?
So, at least politically, it was independent country, not a part of Armenia. But still, it's the same nation, same religion, and support from the Republic of Armenia. But 4 years ago, in September 2020, so Azerbaijan started the war against Republic of Artsakh, and within 44 days, Azerbaijan was able to occupy all of the territory of, almost all of the territory of Artsakh. But still, this is very small. So all of the territory of Artsakh was 10,000 square kilometers, you know, all of the territory. So Azerbaijan occupied like 90% of this territory. So some guerrilla fighters were still in the mountains, but mostly it was occupied. So Russian army decided to come back to this region, because after the collapse of the Soviet Union, Soviet army, Soviet troops were, you know, were removed from all most of the Soviet republics, except of Belarus. So today we have Russian army in Belarus, a little bit in Armenia, and in Tajikistan, and one more Soviet republic. That's it. All the rest of the countries actually expelled Russian soldiers. So Russians decided to use this opportunity to come back to ex-Soviet republics.
To occupy?
Basically, they call for this, you know, peaceful mission. Peaceful mission, yes. Peacekeepers, they come. So under pretext of peace mission, so thousands of Russian soldiers returned to this territory. But unfortunately, they stayed there for 3 years. And then war with Ukraine started. So actually, Russia started the war against Ukraine. I remember Putin said it's going to take like 3 days to occupy all of Ukraine. Ukraine actually a big country. It's the biggest in Europe. But Putin was sure he was able to occupy like in 3 days. Today we have like almost 3 years of this war.
It didn't happen.
Yes, it didn't happen. So all the military and financial forces of Russia were gone to Ukrainian front. So as for Nagorno-Karabakh, Russians took most of the soldiers to Ukraine. And then Azerbaijan started one more war to occupy the rest of the small part of Artsakh that's still under Armenian control. And it took like 3 days to occupy all of Nagorno-Karabakh of Artsakh. And the next step was to expel all the Christian population from Artsakh to Armenia. So today, Republic of Artsakh doesn't exist. There is no even a single Christian in this area, not a single Christian. So Azerbaijan destroyed most of the churches, most of the Christian cemeteries. So there are a lot of videos in YouTube you can find when Azerbaijani soldiers say just Allahu Akbar and destroy like Armenian graves with crosses. This is really horrible. And today, 150,000 Armenian Christians became refugees. Most of them refugees in Armenia, because Armenia is basically the same nation. Not exactly the same. We cannot say that Costa Ricans and Panameans the same nation. Not exactly, but more or less. Same language, same religion, more or less. But Armenia is a poor country. Basically, unfortunately, it is a third world country. They're not able to support a lot of refugees. So most of them already left to Russia, to Georgia, who was able to receive Schengen visa. They traveled to Europe, etc., etc.
Vamos a ir a unos comerciales, seguimos hablando con Alexander Lapshin. Nos va a contar de su historia en Nicaragua, pero este es un historión que no nos imaginábamos todo lo que nos podía contar Alexander. Así que volvemos, hacemos una pausa, venimos con esta parte final de Íntimo.
En la historia de Costa Rica, nunca hemos visto nada igual.
Este año la gala de Miss Universe Costa Rica promete ser inolvidable.
Con la presencia de la actual Miss Universe 2024.
El icónico zar de la belleza, Osmel Sousa.
Y nuestro jurado de honor, Shanice Palacios, Miss Universo 2023.
Vos podés ser parte de esta noche histórica.
Entradas ya a la venta por Publitickets.
Seguimos aquí en Íntimo con Alexander Lapshin. That's a big story. That's an amazing story. I mean, horrible story. But you're alive.
Yeah.
What happened in Nicaragua?
So, as I mentioned, I visited 157 countries of the world. There are just 2 places in the world where I had issues.
Yeah.
One of them is Azerbaijan, as I already mentioned. And I'm not a citizen of Azerbaijan, I have nothing to do with Azerbaijan. And the second is Nicaragua. I have nothing to do with Nicaragua. This is too much far away from my country. It's more like for a Costa Rican guy, like Zimbabwe or some, Vietnam. This is too far away. I took the bus from Tegucigalpa, Honduras, to San Jose, Costa Rica. Like Tika bus, normal Tika bus, like all of the tourists. Really.
That's a commercial, no? The worst.
Yes. Okay.
The worst.
You can just.
You took Tika bus.
Especially, I didn't enjoy this company. Once again, so I took the bus from Tegucigalpa, Nicaragua, to San Jose, Costa Rica, like normal tourist bus. So in the border between Honduras and Nicaragua, me and my family were taken away from the bus. And there were 2 tourists from Czech Republic and I think 1 from Canada, 1 or 2 from Canada. So basically all of the foreigners who are not locals, not from Central America, were taken away. Europeans and Canadians and us were taken away. On the Nicaraguan side, not on Honduras. Honduras, no problems. And they checked our passports. They checked every stamp, every visa in the passport. And the Nicaraguan police, they said, okay, wait here. We're going to check something. I said, okay. So we're waiting for 3 hours. During 3 hours, a few Nicaraguan police, actually not police, I believe kind of KGB agent or something, because it wasn't any uniform. They were with pistols, but without uniform. I believe some, intelligence or something. But they didn't speak English at all. It was very difficult to communicate with them, so we used Google Translate. So this guy told something in Spanish and then showed me, read. It was really funny. It was amazing. So, of course, in small villages, if you don't speak English, it's not a big deal. So you live in Central America and don't need English. But if you work in the international border and you every day, on a daily basis, you ask questions from foreigners. You have to learn English a little bit, not with Google Translate. So they asked me and all the rest of the people a lot of questions. For example, where did you study? I said, Haifa University. Where is Haifa University? So you can Google. Haifa, the city in Israel. But what does it make sense? Where I studied, I'm going by transit to Costa Rica. I said, did you serve in Israeli military? I said, yes, 3 years.
In Israel?
Yes. So he asked me, did you commit crimes against Palestinians? I said, what?
Nothing to do.
So what? I served in the army 25 years ago. I'm too old for now. And then I remembered some news about Nicaragua, that Nicaragua broke relations with Israel last year because of some Gaza issues. And they supported Hamas and supported Iran or something. And together with Venezuela and Cuba.
And Russia.
And Russia. So I said, wow, I don't believe this. So he said, can I see your cell phone? I said, no. Because why? Because this is my cell phone. He said, but I want to check your contacts in WhatsApp. I said, no way, because this is my contacts. I'm under arrest or something. So, but finally, I said, okay, if you want, but this is in Russian and Hebrew. Do you speak Hebrew? He said, no. I said, how are you going to read this? And some messages, voice messages in Hebrew. Okay, you can just push it, and blah, 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 shalom, blah, blah. I said, what language is it? I said, Hebrew. I said, but I don't speak Hebrew. I said, I'm sorry that you don't speak Hebrew. And then he told me, look, we're searching on Google. You're a journalist. And he made he's the finger. You're a journalist.
They don't like journalists
I said, so what? Okay, so what? I said, you're Nicaraguan. So is it a joke or something? I'm going to Costa Rica. So he said, you're a journalist and you publish different things about what's happening in the world. I said, yes, because this is my job. He asked, are you going to publish something about Mr. Ortega? And basically, I didn't remember who is Mr. Ortega. So it was a photo, a picture, but he asked me, do you know this guy? I said, this is Mr. Ortega. He said, no, this is Augusto Sandino. I said, okay, who is Augusto Sandino? He said, okay, what's before Ortega? I said, okay, so what? I'm going to Costa Rica. I don't care about both of them. So he said, okay, wait. And after about 5 minutes, he got out and said, look, we're going to take you to the city of Esteli. I said, no. I said, I don't need Esteli. I need to go to Managua and then to... He said, no. He said, no. He said in Spanish, and I could read it. He said, no, you didn't understand. I'm not going to ask you if you want to go to Esteli.
You have to go.
You have to go. We will take you by car.
Wow.
To figure out who are you. Because they said, I believe you're a spy or something. It was a big language problem. Problem with communication. So I was saying in Spanish and translating to English. But translation was bad. So I couldn't understand most of the things. And then it was very moment. So I remember my experience with Azerbaijan and Belarus. So I said to myself, in case they will be able to take me to Esteli, I believe this is kind of small city in Esteli or something, live to jail or something, a police station, I can die there. Because if the Azerbaijani or Belarusians will know that I'm arrested in Nicaragua, they will pay a lot of cash to local Nicaraguan police just to kill me. Just to kill me. And no one will find my body because this is dictatorship Nicaragua. And probably, I was thinking to myself, maybe they received some request for my arrest here in Nicaragua. Maybe, I don't know. Because I could hear they spoke Spanish, and they mentioned my name, and they mentioned Belarus. I could hear Belarus and my name. This was enough. So I said to myself, I have to do something, because otherwise I will die here. And I worried about my family. And it was the very moment somebody called him to his cell phone, and he said he started to talk with somebody, and he kept our passport in his left hand. And for some reason, he just put passport on the table and turned to me with the back. So I just grabbed the passport and I said, I ran away to Honduras, to my family. it was really like in the movies. Honduras was very close.
Yes.
Really close, if maybe 20 steps. And we have
The border, it wasn't the border?
yes, exactly. It was maybe 20, maybe maximum 50 meters from the border, very close. So we had to run maybe for 10 seconds. So I was able to grab passports and one of the backpacks. We had 3 backpacks, so I was able to grab one backpack with laptop, with everything, and I left the rest of backpacks with our clothes in Nicaragua.
Really?
I couldn't take it because we didn't have time. So this man tried to grab me in the hand. So I said, So we were able to run to Honduras.
So you escaped?
Yes. It was like maybe 10 seconds.
Wow.
And the Hondurasian police, they didn't understand what's going on. Because they could see Nicaraguan police running after me that were already crossed the border inside Honduras. So Hondurasian soldiers, they stopped them, they said, no, this is Honduras here. But I was afraid the Honduran police will send me back to Nicaragua.
No, but...
So once again, it was a problem with the language. So we spoke with Hondurasian police with Google Translate. So I told them, look, I'm a journalist. They tried to arrest me or something. I didn't know what's going on. So please, let me go to Tegucigalpa. If you send me back to Nicaragua, I will die. It's going to be a huge scandal. I told Hondurasian police, I already sent the message to Israeli ambassador in Tegucigalpa. So please, let me go back. So the chief of immigration or police or something of Honduras, and he walked to Nicaraguan side and he talked with this guy from Nicaraguan KGB. And he returned, he said, they want you back to Nicaragua, and they want to take you to city Esteli. I said, no way, I'm not going to Nicaragua. So Nicaraguans called somewhere, they said, we need to consult with our chief immigration officer in Tegucigalpa. And then they said, okay, you're welcome back to Honduras. You can go to Tegucigalpa. This was really horrible.
Yeah.
I tried, I said to Hondurasian police, could you please ask your colleagues in Nicaragua to bring back our backpacks? They said goodbye to your bags. Okay, that's going to be the tip to Nicaraguan police, my dirty clothes. So this is my story. So nowadays I landed here in Costa Rica, and I feel really good weather.
That's good to hear.
Yes.
That's good to hear. And probably you will have a different story here in Costa Rica, hopefully.
I'm sure. Costa Rica is not Nicaragua. It's absolutely different.
For now, welcome to Costa Rica.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy your stay here and your family as well. So thank you for sharing with us that story. The only word that I wanted to tell you is freedom. What's the first thought that you come out?
Of course. The most important thing in our life is freedom.
Yeah.
So I didn't ever think about that. I could understand it in the prison.
Yeah.
When you lost your freedom, you lost your family, you lost everything.
Everything. Yes.
You lost your life. So the freedom is the best.
Thank you very much for being here, and it was a great story.
Thank you.